Hey folks, thanks for tuning in to SaaS CMO Pro. My name is Bill Masitis. I am the former CMO CRO of Slack, CMO of Zendesk, and SVP of Marketing at Salesforce. So what I did was I put together a 25 plus video series just on product-led growth. PLG, I think, is one of the most underutilized, most capital efficient ways to grow. And if you are an AI founder, if you're a VC, if you're a marketer, and you just want to learn about what PLG or product-led growth is,
Ozzy, what is it? What is it?
You're in the right place.
SaaS CMO Pro.
All right, thanks again for joining SaaS CMO Pro. My mission here is to educate marketers, founders, CEOs, VCs on modern SaaS and AI marketing. And again, PLG is a huge part of that. In fact, I went a little bit crazy. I created over 25 videos just on PLG specifically. And if you want to binge watch on this, we've got a playlist for you. So I'm going to start off with just explaining what the heck PLG is. I'm going to use just simple, easy to understand language. I'm going to talk about all the different elements of it. So on the pricing and packaging side, I'm going to talk about freemium, pros and cons of that. I'm going to talk about use of advanced thresholds. I'm going to talk about credits. I'm going to talk about the Slack fair billing policy that we had, advanced ELAs that you can use that all support a PLG motion. I'm also going to go into why PLG initiatives fail. So this is something you should know walking in eyes wide open as to it is a tough motion to pull off. There's a reason you don't see it out there everywhere. I'm going to talk about the resources you need to do this. What are the best metrics to do it? I'm going to dive into DAUs and Net Promoter Score and PQLs and a bunch of other geeky PLG stats that I love. I'm going to walk you through when you're resourcing this, hey, who should be in charge of it, right? How many people should you have on this? Is this a company-wide initiative? Is this a department-wide initiative? I'm going to talk about all that. I'm also going to be going into how these other teams outside of product are really important for a product growth initiative. So I'm going to talk about in marketing, how do you infuse that into a PLG strategy? I'm going to talk about how you make your product more simple, how you make it more fun, how marketing can create a unique visual identity and editorial tone and voice in the product, how you can make in-product education that marketing can leverage.
I want to know.
I'm going to talk about how you can get sales part of a PLG initiative. And a lot of that is through a high velocity buying motion, right? How you do in-product chat, how you leverage PQLs before you send that off to sales. I'm also going to talk about some of the more advanced playbooks you can use once you have a PLG strategy. So I'm going to do a deep dive on a land and expand or seed and grow motion. I'm going to talk about a lot about an evangelism playbook. So when you have a PLG motion and you have people that love you, how do you take advantage of that? How do you leverage that to get your overall hypergrowth? Finally, I'm going to give you a PLG readiness checklist. So literally, I've gone through and listed about 26 different items if you want to do a PLG initiative, what they are, so you can check them off one by one. I found that's one of the biggest things with PLG is everyone has a different definition of what it is. And so I'm going to spend a lot of time just walking you through what it is. What are the actual deliverables that you need to do?
What do you need us to do?
And my goal here is to help up level your knowledge, right? Again, I think PLG is one of the most capital efficient ways to grow a SaaS or AI company right now. And especially if you're starting off, this is the perfect time to do it. It makes so much sense. I was always frustrated. I came from a B2C environment. So for 15 years, I was in B2C. And when I came over to the B2B side, I saw so many founders and CEOs that had incredible, innovative products. But for whatever reason, they had chosen go-to-market leaders that had taken them down a really dusty, old 30-year-old go-to-market playbook. And that would always frustrate me because a lot of times I would see those companies fail, or they would have competitors that would be growing faster, the competitors that knew about them more. And part of that is because I think the go-to-market playbook they chose, which a lot of times is this really old school, send out press releases, hold events, do top-down selling, hire outbound BDRs, and it's just, that's a very capital inefficient way to do it. You can grow that way, but it's very expensive, even if you're just selling it to the enterprise, right? PLG for me is such a more modern way to grow. It's such a more capital efficient way to grow. It's also a very customer centric way to grow.
Well done.
A lot of things you do in PLG, pricing transparency, letting people go in and just start using the product, letting people buy on their own, are very customer centric, right? And what tends to happen is you tend to get people that your product more, that talk about it more, which means you tend to grow faster and you tend to grow more capital efficient. So I will give you all the reasons why I love PLG. But again, I try to be honest about this stuff. There are institutional resistance you're going to get. Certain teams tend to fight against it. If you're further along in your development, that can be a tough one. But I'm going to give you all the insight strategies that I've used to make sure that the PLG initiative that you embark on is very successful. All right, so a couple last things. I've had a lot of people ask me, Bill, can you help us out with my PLG initiative for our company? Feel free to reach out to me. You can shoot me an email. I'm bill@saascmopro.com, or you can just reach out to me on LinkedIn and send me a message there. My current role, I serve as a board advisor or sometimes independent board member for different fast-growing and B2B SaaS startups. Always happy to have a conversation, though, see if I can help out or at least kind of point you in the right direction. All right, next, I've actually had a lot of people that have asked me, Bill, what camera are you using? What microphone are you using? What lighting are you using? So during the pandemic, I said, I'm on so many of these video calls, I'm just going to up-level my knowledge on this stuff. So I spent 1,000 hours on YouTube researching every single camera and microphone and lighting out there. And I encourage you, if you want to up-level your knowledge, you can spend 1,000 hours. If you don't have 1,000 hours, I've made an entire video just on how I built out my little Zoom studio. I use it now for YouTube and other videos that I put out there. But I also will list all the cameras, mics, lighting I use in the description below. There's links to everything if you just want the shortcut and want to get the stuff and move forward. I will say this is more for an executive setup. I did not choose the cheapest options. This is really like more premium type setup. So if you're interested in that, feel free to check it out. All right, so with all that said, feel free to dive in, binge watch. I have this all in a playlist. You can go through each of the individual videos. Hopefully you found that helpful. Again, give me a subscribe, a follow on any of the social channels if this stuff you want to see more of this content. And thanks again for tuning in to SaaS CMO Pro.